The Bell by Kees, Nauta. So, I'm going to tell a story. I'll start. I was off hiking. I'm not sure exactly where. Just out in the mountains. We were going to roast hot dogs and marshmallows. But before that, we were going to go up to this fort up on the side of the mountain. So we went up the fort. It was pretty cool. It was all made of rocks and all this cool stuff. But, and then there were a bunch of game trails everywhere. We decided to follow on pretty much straight up, like, almost vertical incline. And we climbed up it, and we were about halfway up it, and my friend decided, I don't want to go anymore. It's too hard. I want to go roast marshmallows. So I told him, okay, you can go. I'll be back around when I need, around like 30 minutes. So I finished going up. Once I was 10 feet from the top, and I saw this tree, and there was something hanging from it. It was metal, and it was painted blue, rusty, scratched up, but I'm not sure exactly what it was. I got closer to it. I realized it was a bell. Why was there a bell hanging up there? I decided, this is cool. I'm gonna bring it home. But first I threw a rock at it, and super loud, super long. It lasted for 5 minutes. Just, and at first it was ear-piercing sound. It hurt so bad. You could almost hear something else, like screeching, not just the bell. But, I was gonna leave it and get my friend to help me get it, because this was almost vertical. I'd have to roll it down, and it'd probably get destroyed. So I left it for a while, and went down to my friend. We roasted a hot dog or two. I was telling him, I got this, there's this giant bell up there, and he's like, why is there a bell up there? And I decided, I didn't know, but I told him, I want to get it and take it home, and he's like, okay, I'm going to help you get it, okay? So we went up there, and we were heading up the mountain, and we were 10 feet away from it, and we see it, and he's like, I want to throw a rock at it. So he throws a rock at it, and the ear-piercing sound is louder, and it's the secondary screech was louder also. We decided to just forgo whatever it was and still take the bell. So we went and cut the cords. There were some like rubber cords, and we cut the cords, and we were trying to drag it down. But there was no way we were going to drag that down. We were going to fall and get hurt if we did, so we just dropped it, and it rolled down. It was super loud, like hitting against all of those rocks, some bedrock. But it was down there, dented or scratched. Not dented or scratched, but some paint got off. And we're like, wow, this holds up really well. So we dragged it all the way to my car, and we put it in the back of my car, and we put it in the back of my car. I told him goodbye, I'll see you tomorrow or in a week or something. And I drove home. And I opened up my trunk, and there were wasps everywhere. I ran for 100 feet because there were wasps everywhere. I realized it had been filled with wasp nests. Why? And I was like, why didn't they come out earlier? They could have come out just as easily earlier. But so we went. So I called my friend over, asking him, "Do you have any wasp poison?" He was like, "Yeah, I have a couple bottles." I'm like, "Okay, can you help me? I need to get this bell out, and it's filled with wasps." So he comes right over. Like 15 minutes later, he's over, and we spray it down, kill all the wasps, and then we go out, and in my backyard we have a pear tree. And I hang it from a branch of the pear tree. And I decide to ring it. And the ear-piercing sound. But the sound hurt our ears. But it was so hypnotic. We had to keep listening to it. We just wanted to hit it again and again and again. But I decided it was getting late. It was around 10. And sorry guys, I haven't slept in a couple days since this, but we decided to go and sleep, and I went to sleep, and my friend decided I told him he could sleep over if he wanted to, and he said, okay, I will. So he sleeps over, he's on the couch, I'm in my bed, and we hear the bell ring. The bell was ringing in the middle of the night. No one could have rang it. No one could have. We lived 10 miles away from anybody. And our road was gated. Did somebody walk 10 miles just to ring this bell? I don't know. I went in and I got my shotgun. I was scared. I was about to call the cops. And I looked outside. Nothing was there. The bell's still eerily ringing for a minute or two. And then it finally stops. So I went and sat on my couch. My friend was awake at this point. And we heard it ring again. But it rang twice this time. As if somebody hit it twice. And I looked out my window. Nobody was there. But I felt the urge to go out there and ring the bell. But I didn't want to go out there because somebody was obviously out there. Just where? But my friend was like, I need to go ring that bell. I was like, no, sorry, you can't. You're not going out there. And he's like, I need to go ring that bell. So I'm like, oh, okay, you can go ring it if you have to. He's like, I'll be right back. So he opens my door and goes outside. He hits the bell. I hear it ring. And it's so hypnotic. So ear-piercingly hypnotic. I drop my gun. And start to walk outside. As I see other people. Some of their flesh was gone. Some of them didn't have any limbs. Some of them had one arm. They were missing arms. There were hundreds walking towards the bell. And the bell stopped, and they all ran away. Except one. One of them rang it, and they all started coming closer. I realized my friend also ran away when the bell stopped. And I felt the urge so much, I had to go ring that bell. And the urge was overtaking me. I wouldn't just open the door. I smashed the door off its hinges. Why didn't I open the door? I couldn't control my body at this point. What was going on? What was going on? I've had great self-control for as long as I can remember. And I can't control my body at all. I smashed the door down. And then walked to the bell. And rang. It was so loud, that close to it. So loud. They all came close. And then they stopped. Right at the peak of the sound. They all stopped. And then I started to back up into the ring that they stopped in. And so did my friend. And then we all dug. Some of them were starting to dig their bodies into the ground. What was going? They were digging their bodies, and then I started to feel cold. My feet were going into the ground. My body was digging myself into the ground. Deeper and deeper, until my head was all that was out. Everybody was doing this. Deeper and deeper. And then nothing was above. And then my body covered up the hole. It stopped. I couldn't move at all. I was sitting there motionless. I was sitting there motionless for days, months, years, until I heard the bell ring.